Hello. In this video, we're going to look at algebra, and we're going to start by solving some pretty simple algebra questions, and we're going to work our way up to some pretty advanced ones. This is important because we're going to be doing some algebra in our new unit, and we just need to make sure that our previous algebra skills are just ready to go. So let's say we have x plus 4 equals 10. How would we solve for x? And I encourage you for each one of these questions, go ahead and pause the video, give it a try, and then watch the solution. So here we subtract 4 from both sides. 10 minus 4 is 6, so x equals 6. What if we had 5x plus 7 equals 10? I'm going to subtract 7 from both sides. That's going to give me 3 equals 5x. Then I'm going to divide by 5. That gives me x equals 3/5. What if I had x plus 4 divided by 3 equals 28? Well, here to clear the 3, I'm going to multiply both sides by 3. So I'm going to get 28 multiplied by 3. It's going to be x plus 4 equals 84. Subtract 4 from both sides, and x equals 80. If you notice, each time I'm doing the opposite. So instead of dividing by 3, I multiply. Instead of adding 4, I subtract 4. All right, this question is a little more interesting. We've got two fractions, but let's start by clearing that 10. So multiply by 10 over here. Multiply by 10 here. That gives me x minus 4 equals negative 150 over 2. Now in that case, the fraction does simplify, so I'm going to write that as negative 75. I'll add 4 to both sides. X equals negative 71. Okay, even more fractions here, and I definitely want to get rid of those denominators. So I'm going to multiply everything by the lowest common multiple of 4 and 8 and 3. So if you think about it, 8 is a multiple of 4, so that's already good. 8 times 3 will be 24. So let's multiply everything by 24. Each term gets multiplied by 24. Now, the reason I'm doing that is 3 and 24 can simplify to 8. 8 and 24 simplify to 3. 4 and 24 simplify to 6. So this gives me 5 times 6, which is 30. 5 times 3 is 15. 2 times 8 is 16x. All right, subtract 15 from both sides. 15 equals negative 16x. Divide by negative 16. So x equals negative 15 over 16. Okay, we've got another one. In this case, I think multiplying by 15 will work because 15 is a multiple of 5 and 3. And each term needs to get multiplied. So these are going to simplify to a 5, these to a 3, these to a 3. So 6 times 3 is going to be 18. 4 times 3 is 12x. This is 5x, and then we've got the 7 times 15, so the 105. Now from here, I need to get rid of the 105, and I need to probably move the 12x over. That's going to give me 17x here, and negative 87 over here. Divide by 17. X equals negative 87 over 17. Okay, what about a question like this? Well, we're going to need to expand because before we can collect all the terms, we have to have everything expanded. 14x, 49, minus 12x, minus minus makes a plus. Make sure you carry that through. Now we can combine these into a 2x, and we can combine these into a 49 plus 44, so 93 equals 15. Minus 93 from both sides. It's going to give us 2x equals negative 78. Divide by 2. X equals negative 39. Okay, what if we have an x squared? Well, this is a new technique here. We need to find the two factors that multiply. We're looking for two numbers that multiply to give negative 5 and add to give 4. I'm thinking negative 1 and 5. So negative 1 and 5. Now if you look, x times x is x squared. X times x is x squared. X times negative 1 is negative x. 5 times x is positive 5x. So that'll give us a 4x. And 5 times negative 1 is negative 5. So this is indeed the same thing we had. Now, because we have both of these factors multiplying to 0, by the zero product property, we can say that either x plus 5 equals 0 or x minus 1 equals 0. We set each factor equal to 0. And now we solve it as x equals negative 5 and x equals 1. So this is based on what's called the zero product property. It's a very nice technique if you have 0 on one side. And you can get this into two factors. The difficult question of x squared simplifies into two mini problems with just an x. And these linear problems are just like the algebra we did before. All right, x squared plus 11x plus 28. So again, we're looking for two numbers that multiply to give 28. Two numbers that add to give 11. I'm thinking those numbers are going to be 4 and 7. So we get x plus 4, x plus 7. Then we set each one of those equal to 0. That gives us x equals negative 4, x equals negative 7. All right, this one is a little bit trickier because we're looking for two numbers that multiply to give 6, add to give 10. And the only numbers that multiply to 6 are 1 times 6 and 2 times 3. And neither one of those add to 10. So the regular factoring won't work. We have to use minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. This is called the quadratic formula. And this will be available on your formula sheet, so you don't have to memorize it. This is your a value. In this case, it's an invisible 1. This is your b value here. This is your c value. So we plug all those in, and we get minus 10 plus or minus the square root of 10 squared minus 4 times 1 times 6 over 2 times 1. Negative 10 plus or minus 100 minus 24. 100 minus 24 is going to be 76. Now there's a little bit of math we can do on the side. We have square root 76. And we can actually have 76 as 4 times 19, which we can write as root 4 times root 19. And since 4 is a perfect square, we can write it as 2 root 19. So this is minus 10 plus or minus 2 root 19 over 2. Now, we can't cancel these. That's not valid, but we can divide everything by 2. So we can think of the 10 as a 2 times 5. So the 2, if we're going to divide it, because we're not really canceling, we have to do each term, and that does work. So it's going to give us negative 5 plus or minus root 19. In other words, x equals negative 5 plus root 19, and x equals negative 5 minus root 19. Those are our two solutions. All right, how will we do this one? Well, again, let's use that quadratic formula. A equals 1, b equals 7, c equals 14, minus 7 plus or minus the square root of 7 squared, 4 times 1 times 14 over 2 times 1, negative 7 plus or minus 49 minus 56 over 2. Negative 7 plus or minus the square root of negative 7 over 2. Uh-oh. We have a negative number here. And that means there's no solution, or it's not factorable. Now, if you don't want to do all the work to show this, you can simply look underneath the root. B squared minus 4ac is going to be 7 squared minus 4 times 1 times 14. 49 minus 56, which is our negative 7. And because this number, negative 7, is less than 0, right, this is less than 0, therefore no solution. So if you have the discriminant here, and it has 3 cases, it's either greater than 0, equal to 0, or less than 0. And if it's greater than 0, you're going to get 2 solutions. If it's equal to 0, you get 1 solution. And if it's less than 0, you get no solutions. So the discriminant is a quick way to check if it's going to have solutions or not. I mean, you can still just do the quadratic formula, but the discriminant is a little bit quicker, and it's a nice little technique. All right, so in terms of notes, there's not a whole lot to take. This is just a review of algebra, but I would encourage you to try worksheet 6.6. This will give you some more algebra questions and just ensure that you have your algebra skills all tuned up and ready to go, because we're going to be using them on some combination and permutation type questions. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and as always, thanks for watching.